Hey, what's going on everybody? Chase here at Rocky Mountain. Thank you for checking in. I'm here today with Riley Brough from the RMX Academy, and we've got another riding tip video for you guys today. And today, it's top 5 tips that can just help you improve your lap times on a motocross track. And some of these tips, Riley and I were talking about it, might sound redundant. You've probably heard some of them before, but you always got to remind yourself. And there's also some tips in here that you probably haven't really thought too much about that we want to share with you today. But Riley, he runs the RMX Academy, him and his brothers. I've been out here today all day being a student, and I love getting tips and trying to improve my riding. That's my goal every time I go out and ride. But Riley, tip number 1, we were talking about it, and it has the word intentional in it.
Yes.
Talk us through that.
So tip number 1 is ride with intent. And what we mean by that is you show up to the dirt bike track, you unload your bike, you go out, you start spinning laps, and you're just kind of riding. You're riding off of muscle memory. You're just riding off of, just kind of whatever comes at you. Well, if you're riding with the goal, I mean, that's great, just showing up and riding your dirt bike.
Sure,
that's
fun,
great.
right?
Right, but if you're riding, if you unload the bike and say, okay, I want to drop my lap time today,
right,
you need to have something on your mind of, hey, what's a little flaw I could work at, or what's something that I could focus on today to try to set better habits. Yeah,
Sure.
So riding with intent. Go out there and always do something productive versus just burning gas.
So always have a plan every time you go to the track. And tip number 2 is, again, this might sound redundant, but it's improve your corner speed.
Yeah.
And that's something that we should all be working on. But the real question is, okay, well, what should I be working on to improve my corner speed? And Riley, what are like some of the common mistakes that you see riders make as they're trying to have better technique going through corners? What would be like your main points that you would want them to focus on?
So there's 3 things that I'm looking at first. And number 1 is always going to be, where are your eyes? Are you looking ahead? That's first and foremost for me. Mm-hmm. And then a very close second is, where are your feet at? Are you on the balls of your feet? And that's my attack position when we're standing up, but now we're talking corners. So we're talking our outside foot still needs to be on the ball of your foot, putting conscious pressure on your peg, like actually firing your calf, firing your leg muscles, pushing down into your peg. And then the third thing that I'm making sure is happening is, are we leaning forward with our upper body to a 45-degree angle or so versus being straight up and down. That way, when you decide you're going to build speed and you accelerate hard, if you're straight up and down, the bike's going to wheelie. You need to be forward over the front of the bike so that you can have weight on the front end. Okay. So those are the first 3 things. There's other things to a corner, yeah, but if someone's struggling in a corner or looking for speed in a corner, those are the first 3 things that I'm looking for.
All right, so to work on your corner speed, that's kind of like our tip number 3, is you got to have the correct body position, the correct technique, and what Riley just talked about, those are going to help you tremendously. We've done some other videos. We did one on long sweeping ruts. We've done a video where it's like, when should you sit down in a corner, kind of how to carry that momentum. So go watch those videos, and they have really good cornering tips to help you out to just do that, improve your technique and get better corner speed. All right, tip number 3, and this is something that I think is probably one of the biggest difference makers, is taking advantage of straightaways, in between jumps, and being aggressive on the throttle. Kind of walk us through what we were talking about.
Yeah, time between obstacles. Mm-hmm. Pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory. You're talking about from the landing of the jump to whatever's next. And everything on the track is an obstacle. It's Sure. not just the next jump. It's, a corner is an obstacle, a straightaway is an obstacle. So it's, when I land a jump, it should be wide open to the next obstacle for as long as you can, and then you shut down. Right. What we have a tendency to do is, behind us we've got this triple we're standing on, we have a triple behind us, yep, and we'll jump this triple, we'll land it, and we'll go, quarter throttle, half throttle, whatever it takes to jump that next jump. Nice, right, steady speed down this straightaway so that we can perfectly clear the jump. And there's time to be made up there by landing this jump wide open, right, throttle to the stop, for as long as you dare push it into that corner, and then you shut off, and let your momentum carry you over, and then that's a different conversation, because that's breaking up the face or scrubbing. But right, yeah, that time in between obstacles.
So how I like to kind of summarize that is just being aggressive where the track allows you to be. All right, so tip number 4 that we were talking about is sprint laps. I'm guilty of this. I don't typically go to a track and say, all right, I'm going to lay down sprint laps today. Mm-hmm. So when and how should you go about doing sprint laps, and why are they beneficial?
So for me personally, I spend most of my time not at 100% of my max speed. I'm toned back a little bit, and that allows me to focus more on being perfect on the motorcycle, or as perfect as I can be. That's back to riding with intent, right? So I have some little piece of my form that I want to work on. So I'm always toned back a little bit, but then every once in a while we need to click into race mode. You know, we need to know what that feels like to go 100%. So that's where sprint laps come in. When you go into sprint mode, a mistake that guys will make is they create a separation between their technique laps and their sprint laps. So they will work on their technique, but they don't connect that technique is what's leading to speed. So they'll work on their technique, and then they'll go to sprint laps and they'll drop everything. You know, I use the term close your eyes and pin it. You know, that's what guys see a sprint lap as, but you've got to realize that a sneaky way to get faster is when you're in a corner and you're like, man, I want to make this the fastest corner I've done today. Stay engaged, stay intentional, riding the bike the right way. You know, there's a reason why you worked on that technique, and it's because it's going to help you go faster.
There's a reason that when guys try and drag bars through corners, they typically screw it up. It's because they're riding more than what the track will give them. So I like that. Be intentional with that. All right, tip number 5. Line choice. So Riley, this is something I struggle with. I've been doing a lot of the races this summer. When you have a track, you know, on a practice day, you can choose whatever line you want. You can go inside, outside. But on a race day, you're forced to take other lines. But in most situations, how do you decide what line you want to take, or how do you know if the lines you're taking are good lines?
And that can be tricky. Like you said, it's a hard thing to figure out, kind of comes from experience, but a real easy way right off the bat to know if you're in a good line or not, or are you gaining on the guy in front of you, you know, or behind you, you know, are you making up time on that guy? You know, if the answer is yes, keep going. If you're in the deep, nasty line that nobody wants to be in, and you're catching the guy, by all means stay in it, like you're doing something right? But if you're starting to lose time, then you need to start looking elsewhere. A good line is, we're talking about trying to carry momentum around the track. So as the track gets beat up, rough, you're looking for traction, and you're looking to keep your rear wheel on the ground. Every time you hit breaker bumps or holes, your rear wheel is coming up off the ground. So if there's a line, if the main line is hard packed, super baked in, you're lacking traction right there, you can step a foot or two out of it, find traction, find good dirt to really bite into, and then you can, that will also help you miss some breaker bumps, keep your rear tire on the ground, keep you while the guy you're racing, his rear tire's coming off the ground, losing momentum, you can drive around him because you're on flat ground. You
know, something that was kind of sneaky that I saw guys do today, and I tried to start doing it, is they were coming out of ruts that had bad acceleration chop, and they would purposely exit a little earlier. They would make a new line on the outside or the inside, and after a few laps, you've got a nice smooth line coming out of it again. So that's something that I would recommend is, don't be afraid to try and make a new line. If the line that if you like it, but maybe it's getting too beat up, try and exit earlier, exit a little bit later or something.
And so with that being said, I would throw in, watch some motos before your moto. Because you rode a track that, you know, there might have been a corner where the rut was just a no-go, just huge holes coming out. Well, some motos after that could have made a new line around that. So you're thinking, there's no way I'm going inside in that corner. But
there could be a really good entrance or exit coming out of it.
Exactly. So watch motos before yours to kind of see where the fast lines are.
All right, and then the last tip that I would give with that is just be searching. Don't be afraid to leave the line that you're comfortable with, especially like you said, if you're not gaining the guys in front of you, so you got to search for other lines, otherwise your pace is never going to change. So, all right, so that's our last tip. It's just tip number 5, you know, corner or line selection. Try and find the lines that are going to work best for you. But we got a bonus tip, and this is a shameless plug here because Riley is with the RMX Academy, and like I said, I've been out here all day long. Get a coach. Like, that's tip number 6. Like, if you really want to improve your speed and your technique, you got to have somebody who's watching you, who's critiquing you. I mean, Riley, you've raced at the highest level, but you've had a coach, you were kind of saying, almost your whole life, right?
Yeah, off and on. I've had coaches for, I remember having a coach when I was just barely learning to ride. I was on a 65, and then, just trying to learn from as many people as I could. Basic technique, how to ride a motorcycle, and then all the way up to, just within the last couple of years, guys with a stopwatch and a pit board just on the side of the track, just, hey, work on this moto, and just someone to keep you motivated,
I think that's huge for that intentional riding we talked about, because if you have somebody who's watching you, critiquing you, they can tell you where they feel like you're maybe coming up a little bit short, and you can take that, and that can make you have something to be working on at the track. Because if you don't know what you should be working on, if you think your technique's good, but it's maybe not, a coach could really help you out. So I would say wherever you live, seek out a coach, a good riding coach that can help you out, and trust me, it makes a world of difference. So go do it.
Yep.
All right, Riley, thank you again for your tips to help us out today. Where can people find out about the RMX Academy?
Yeah, so my main point of contact is at RMX Academy on Instagram. We also have info on rmxseries.com and RMX Series Instagram.
All right, and Riley, we've done some other videos together. We have a start video, we have other cornering technique videos. So if you want to learn more about all that we've talked about, go give those a watch. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way you know when we drop more videos like this. I'm Chase, thanks for watching.